It's back, baby! Today I have 12 more films that won't break your heart because they have a happy ending to add to the list of 105 films I've already covered in previous parts of the series. This list is made up entirely of suggestions from you in the comments. Thank you. So that means I have seen exactly 2 of these films I'm about to cover. Feel free to keep the suggestions coming. I Hate New Year's is a rom-com from 2020 about a rising musician who returns to Nashville over New Year's to break her writer's block. She finds herself on a quest to reconnect with her ex with her best friend in tow, but perhaps love has been right in front of her the whole time and she just needs to realize it. While that's happening, her career also takes a bit of a turn. This is a Tallow film, and so I expect that it will be similar in style to the tone of Tallow's Christmas films, Christmas at the Ranch, A Season of Love, Merry and Gay, and A Holiday I Do. One thing is for sure, it will end well for the Sapphic ladies. If anyone has seen it, what did you think? I'm curious to know. This, along with all the Tallow Christmas movie selection, can be rented or bought directly from the Tallow website, which I have linked in the description. Marinette is a French film based on the true story of soccer prodigy Marinette Pichon and the challenges that she had to overcome in order to play professionally. Encouraged by her mother at a young age, she played with the boys in a mixed team until she hit 16, at which time she was told that she could no longer compete with the boys, even though she is a better player than them. Despite a turbulent and violent household, she manages to get selected for the French women's soccer team, but given how women in sport are not treated equally, this poses its own difficulties. And of course, it makes it onto this list because she is a Sapphic, which may or may not play a large role in the film. Regardless, this film looks like a solid biopic that certainly has my interest peaked, and so now it is on my to-watch list. Looks like this one is available on Apple TV. My Brother's War is a 2005 film set during the US Civil War of the 1860s about Grace, who decides to pose as a man so she can infiltrate the rebel army in order to find and protect her brother, just as she had promised her dying father. Along the way, she meets a widow grieving the loss of her only son, and they form a bond as they attempt to avoid being caught by the warring armies. But could Grace's secret, her true gender, ruin the feelings that are brewing between them? It looks like a pretty ambitious period piece for a low budget, and one that could potentially be pretty decent, although the reviews on IMDb are mixed. Perhaps if you're into period pieces that center around the American Civil War, this might be for you. The fact that Whitney Hamilton, writer, director, and actor, managed to fund a remake of the film called Union in 2018 suggests that there could be something to this film, and the remake looks to be a higher quality version in terms of set and cinematography at least. The premise is more or less the same, but with a few changes. In this one, the brother is dead and our protagonist has assumed his identity, living as Henry and marrying Virginia, the widow, in order to save her from being married off to someone who she neither loves nor wants to be wed to. From the IMDb write-up, it looks like the relationship between Henry and Virginia is framed as them being soulmates. The 2 reviews I found didn't exactly sing its praises, however, so I guess watch at your peril. But both films have a happy ending. This next one, called Eva from 2014, I have seen and I thought it was a charming film. Eva is dealing with the death of her boyfriend. After a bad date, she finds herself spinning out when she comes across a young woman who, seeing her struggle, takes her in for the night. As they spend more time together, a mutual attraction grows, but is Eva ready for a relationship given the grief that she has? This is a well-made, intimate film that focuses closely on the emotional journey of its protagonist with some lovely characterization and strong performances. It is made on a shoestring budget, but it is not a disadvantage to the film, allowing it to have that indie, low-budget vibe while leveraging the resources it has to good effect. It certainly feels like a rare and little-known find. Best of all, this film is available on YouTube for free, so check out the description for a link. Same but different, a true New Zealand love story is the other film that I have seen from this list, and I wish I liked it more than I did, since Sapphic Kiwi films are sparse to non-existent. But I have to be honest, I found the humour pretty cringy, like it was trying too hard, and much of the acting subpar and over the top. That was just me though. I have seen other people talk about how they enjoyed it. It is a rom-com based on the true story where Rachel, divorcee and mother, finds herself falling for Nikki when she sees her talking at a marae about the importance of Indigenous filmmaking. This is despite never being attracted to a woman before. Feeling like a fish out of water, not just because of these new feelings, but also for forcing her to step out of her Pākehā suburban life, she fumbles her way through this attraction, but ultimately true love wins. The movie was written and directed by Nikki Seulepa, so it is a film that hits very close to home for her, much like Elena Undone was based on the real-life love story of Nicole Conn and Marina Rice Bader. Maybe if I rewatch it now, I'd feel more forgiving about it, as I have been with other films I've watched, but I have misplaced the copy I bought, so I didn't have time to rewatch it for this video. Polarized is a film that I've seen get a few good reviews by you in the comments, so it sounds like it could be a good watch, although ironically, the reviews on IMDb are pretty polarized on whether this film is good. It ends well for the ladies, however. A young songwriter finds herself working on a new state-of-the-art farm run by Palestinian immigrants after her family's farm goes into foreclosure. After making some racist remarks, she loses her job, but from there an affair develops between her and the daughter running the farm, which does not sit well with either of their families. It looks like it features a solid sapphic romance at the center, and I imagine some commentary on the state of corporate farming and racism, as well as some singing of songs. It's available to buy or rent right here on YouTube, link in the description. It's also free if you belong to a library that uses Hoopla for its online catalogue, or you can also find it on Apple TV. Finland has a film from 2004 with a happy ending called Producing Adults, where Venla finds out that her longtime boyfriend got a vasectomy, but she wants to start a family. She goes to a fertility specialist and finds herself unexpectedly falling in love with her doctor, which will have some far-ranging consequences. This was the Academy Award foreign film submission for Finland in 2004, which may mean it could be worth seeking out. And that is about all I could find on this film. The next few I'll mention briefly. Goldfish Memory, an Irish rom-com film from 2003 that follows the dating life of various people in Dublin. It has an ensemble cast, of which a sapphic couple is just one storyline of many. I saw that it can be rented on the Tallow website. The Guest House is about a goth teen who is dealing with the death of her mother from cancer when her dad's new employee comes to stay in her family guest house. The two young women begin to spend time together and an attraction develops. From the trailer, the quality of the film looks pretty iffy, but it does have a happy ending, or so I'm told. This can be found for free on Tubi, and I have a link to that in the description. Beyond Love is an Italian film that looks at a lesbian and gay couple who are friends. The lesbian couple want to have kids and approach their gay friends to help them, only the ladies can't agree on who should carry. The whole situation causes much conflict, but it does end well. This film can also be found on Tubi, so link in the description. Me, Myself and Her is another Italian film that is not going to be everyone's cup of tea. It's certainly not mine, because it has one of my least favorite tropes. One of the ladies in a sapphic couple of 5 years is still struggling with the fact that she has fallen in love with a woman, not helped by the fact that her family is not all that accepting. She has an affair with a man. Yes, that's the unfortunate trope which leads to her breaking up with her girlfriend. It makes it onto this list because by the end of the film she realizes that she only wants to be with her girlfriend. But we have to suffer a bit in order to get to the happy ending. I hope you found at least one film to pique your interest, and at the very least it's always good to see a growing list of films with happy endings for the sapphic ladies. Check out the playlist on your screen to see all the films covered in this series so far. Until next time, lady lovers.